What's happening, Expeditioners? It's Peter here, founder of Expedition Money. Want to talk to you today about earning extra money. And I want to bring this up because, especially after the holidays, a lot of people are thinking about it. There's a lot of ways to do it. There are a number of gig apps now available that certainly weren't available as when I was a kid. And I would certainly recommend doing some of those because if you are looking to make extra money, you don't need to make it harder on yourself than it's already going to be. Just use the system and the incredible reach and scale that a lot of these apps offer. If you want to pick up food and drop off people, certainly can do that. Anyway, but what I wanted to do here was be a little creative, and I wanted to actually bring up 5 businesses that I know of people that are doing that cost truly nothing to get into. Now, I say that tongue in cheek a little bit because everything costs something, but I was saying $50, $100, $500 to get into on the top end. Less if you kind of want to start a little bit more scale down. I think a lot of people can come up with $100, $200, $300 to invest in a business. Now, let me explain this. I've said this in many videos. Having the business operation is not a business. That is being a entrepreneur or an entrepreneur. Having everything up to the business cards and a website and the inventory, that's not a business. Selling and bringing in money is the business. If you're not bringing in money, you are playing entrepreneur. And if you're playing entrepreneur, things go bad quickly, especially if you have ongoing expenses with it. You signed yourself up to a cell phone plan and rent and your storage unit and an employee or whatever it might be, all right? So let me just talk about 5 that I thought are pretty creative that some of my friends, some of the people that I know got into without spending much money at all. And the first one is lawn mowing. And I did lawn mowing as a teenager. My parents had a pretty good, reliable, self-propelled Honda push mower, and I mowed lawns for $20. Now, if I were going to do this today, the way I would do it is I would create a business called Just Grass, because especially in like highfalutin neighborhoods, the really nice neighborhoods, they want landscaping. They don't just want grass cutting, okay? They don't want just any grass cut. They want it in stripes, and they want it done twice over. And I'll tell you, I may live in one of these neighborhoods where every year I have a neighbor that fires his landscaping company for pretty similar reasons. One year because when they were taking the turns to cut the stripes in the lawn, they were cutting they instead of going over to the next row, they were turning sharply and doing the row adjacent to the row they had just cut, and they were leaving tire marks or little tread marks in the lawn. I know another one because they were not laying the grass down correctly. Apparently, mower height has something to do with this. You want to have something like dragging behind the mower to lay that grass down so you get some nice strips, okay? I don't, as a business owner, want to deal with that. I want to go where it's just the meat and potatoes. Cut the grass, trim the edges. A lawnmower and an edger or a weed whacker, or whatever you want to call it, is the only things that I would need, and a little tiny trailer to pull it in, recycled U-Haul or whatever it might be, and just cut the lawn as quickly as possible, do in circles. Most people don't want circles, they want stripes. You can get a big mower, but you can just have a regular little mower, little edger, do the grass, get in, get out, and collect 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks. And the way I would probably do it right now is to find some people who are landlords, like own some small investment properties. So when I was in that, sometimes landlords will either allow their tenants to mow their own lawn for no cost or charge them a little bit, but then they will take care of the snow and the grass. And I would try to come up with a deal where it's like $20 a week or $18 a week or something that's great, that the tenant doesn't have to worry about it. The landlord doesn't have to worry about being in violation or with city ordinance or anything like that. You just do it. You're in and out. The tenants don't really care. They couldn't even complain anyway if they wanted to, because the landlord is paying for the cost. But just places that need the down and dirty, they don't even care what day it is or what time. Cut the grass, edge of the lawn, get in and out, quick like a bunny, hop like a bunny. That's how I would do it. So that's the business I would probably get in. And especially because I have a riding lawnmower now, that's probably the business I would want. And if you have a kid that's looking for a business and you have a mower, geez, it's a simple one. The second one is dog walking. Now, this is an interesting one because it sounds very simple, but I actually had a friend, someone who actually was financial coaching. I could talk a little bit more about that some other time, but she actually loved dogs. She used to have a bunch of dogs. She used to kennel dogs when people were on vacation. And so she had all these kennels in her house set up like this. And over the years, as money got tight and her dogs were put down or passed away, she didn't replace the dogs. And now she was living like in an empty house, but still loved dogs. And so the side hustle she picked up was dog walking. Now, she actually did it through an app. I don't remember which one it was, Wags, or there's some other ones out there. But she actually started doing that as an app. She used to pick up a bunch of dogs. She eventually went on her own. And with those families that she was dog walking for, she actually started kenneling those dogs, especially on vacations, spring breaks, Christmas breaks. And you're giving up some time, right? So some of those summer vacation days that you might want to take off, you might be beholden to the business. Spring breaks, especially around her area, she was going to have to be in that area. Christmas break, she was always spending at home, but she loved it. She loved having a house full of dogs. She was making a bunch of money. And when I last checked in with her, and this is basically saying she didn't spend anything except using some of the dog equipment she already had. So if you already had dogs or pets or something like this, you may have some of this, but she was making an extra $3,000 a month ultimately by doing the dog walking and the dog kenneling, boarding is what you call it. That's pretty amazing. I was really impressed by that and not spending any money really out of pocket. The other one I would say, this might be a little tougher now based on the housing market, but new home buyer gifts. This is a business I would set up, and I've seen a couple of variations on this that I think are really clever. So in one case, if you don't have any talent, like a specific talent, you don't crochet or paint or something like that, you could just do like a balloon basket, food, candy, gift basket type of thing, and something you get all the stuff at Costco, wrap in cellophane, and work with real estate agents who want to send their new clients, someone who just bought a home from them, $100 gift basket. And so again, you're going to have to work on the margins here, but you spend $60, you deliver it, you pocket 40, and you drop off stuff, a little customized card and all that jazz. On the other hand, I know some people who have artistic skills, and one of them is an artist. And what she does is she finds a picture, either the real estate agent sends a picture of the house that they bought, or she finds it somewhere, or she goes and takes it. I think she's local, but I think she's expanded now nationally. And she paints, not fine art, but paints a picture of the house. And it's a little bit stylized. It's not just, if you live in the house, what do you want to do? Walk into your home and just see a picture of your house? That's probably not. It's a little bit stylized. It looks a little modern. There's some minimalism to it because it doesn't have usually a ton of colors. But what it is, it's a cool little piece that shows the house, shows that you're thinking about your customer. And what I guess I've seen most people, it's weird because now I've seen a couple of these in person, and sometimes people have them on the mantle of their fireplace. But where I've noticed is people will take it to work and put it in their cubicles. Oh, that's my house. There's my home. I can't wait to get home. Couldn't you do something? Partner up with a real estate agent who doesn't want to necessarily just do something generic, send a bottle of champagne. Maybe that's in your gift basket, but then they don't have to do anything for it. And you're a third party to it too. So it doesn't seem like the agent is trying to chin something out and give them a gift, but they're outsourcing it to another company, and it feels nice if you get a delivery and you're like, oh, it's a balloon bouquet or a candy bouquet or something like that. But some of those things can be an easy way to start a business on the cheap. The other one, and this is funny because the guy I was talking to about this lives, I don't know, 2 miles down the road from me. And the reason I hired him was my son was having a birthday, and we've seen in the neighborhoods lawn signs. So they put up lawn signs. They're just, I don't know, letters, probably 3 feet tall, 2 feet tall. And they've got metal stakes in them. They're like every other political yard sign or campaign sign or something like that. They just kind of stick into the ground. And these lawn signs then can spell out happy birthday, congratulations, happy graduation, happy anniversary, happy retirement, or whatever. And then they're big, they're colorful. They actually help you if you're throwing a party so that everyone knows, hey, that's the house we're going to, or whatever it is. They have a lot of impact for kind of a little bit of money. And I didn't realize how inexpensive it is to get into that business. So the beauty of that business is that you can buy these things on demand. All right. So the inside scoop here is, let's say someone's having a birthday. You can buy some of these kits that have a happy birthday, happy graduation, whatever it is, and then an assortment of other letters so that you can spell out the name. And then they have balloons and other things that you bookend it with. But if you don't have what they need, okay, I'm looking for black and gold, happy golden anniversary or something like that, then you can buy them. Usually people are not booking you 24 hours before you need them. You can buy the extra things that you want. Usually you can make up that money because in my case, I think it was like $400 to have that happy birthday sign. And what it was is my son's birthday was on like a Saturday morning. And what I noticed is that Friday night, at some point at night, I noticed it at 9 o'clock. So I don't know if he was here at 5 or 7 or whatever, but at some point at night, the sign showed up in my yard. No one knocked on the door. No one said, hey, set them up here or anything like that. They just appeared, which is perfectly fine. And then we had told the guy that the party was going to be like noon to 4. So I didn't need them after 4 o'clock. I will tell you what, some people mingled around till like 7 o'clock, some family and close friends. I noticed at 5 o'clock, they were gone. So the beauty of it is you're not setting up, you're not meeting and greeting people, you're not invoicing anyone, you're getting paid electronically. He came, set them up that night, came, got them after our party was done, $400. I don't know how much the signs cost that said happy birthday Theo on them, but not a lot. So I love that business. I talked to him a little bit about it. He and his wife had just gotten into the business, repurposed half of the garage for all these different signs. So you do have to have a little bit of storage, but you can certainly do it at your house. And even if you have a lot of signs, you can just put them in the back of a vehicle. You don't usually need something special, okay? The other business that I want to talk about here, and this is not one that I would have thought was like a cheap or inexpensive business, but it's less expensive than I thought. Less expensive than I thought. So a buddy of mine has a couple of girls, and they're about a year apart. And as they were growing up, they were starting to throw birthdays in their backyard for him. And instead of renting one of those inflatable bouncy houses, he bought one. Now, it was a pretty simple one. It's just like a square. It kind of looks like a little castle. And you hook up one of those. They look like those industrial floor blowers, like floor fans. And you plug it in, and it just blows air into it and keeps it inflated. And I remember going to like her birthday, and I was like, oh man, hey, you got a bouncy house. Did you rent that? And he's, no, we just bought it. And I think his comment at the time was, it's actually cheaper to buy than it is to rent. And we figured we'll use it more. The girls in the summer just want to bust it out. They know how to turn it on. They want our friends over. So we've gotten our money's worth out of it. I thought that was great. Fast forward a few years, and turns out that not only did his girls grow out of it, but some of his friends were like, hey, can we borrow that bouncy house? Sure, yes, you absolutely can. Here's how to set it up, work it. But then other people would ask, like, where did you get that bouncy house? And they said, oh, my friend has it. And they called him, and how much do you rent this for? And he's $400 for the day or whatever it is. I can't remember, but it's a crazy amount. And we'll come set it up, show you how to turn it on, turn it off. I'll come collect it the next day. And now I want to say, it's not like this huge enterprise of bouncy houses, but I want to say he has 6 different kind of bouncy houses, like a white castle and a red castle, and I don't know, like one with a slide on it, and a variety of things. So not this huge inventory. When they roll up to, it seems like the size of a really big duffel bag. But he just has a website up. He sometimes his girls, or sometimes he hires a guy, or he'll do it where he'll take the bouncy house, kind of just unroll it, show them how to turn on the compressor, the fan when they're ready to do it, and makes money on these bouncy houses. Didn't build a huge inventory. When he adds another bouncy house to his business, he just puts it on his website, and then it gets booked there. So you can book it, you can pay online. So all that is automated. I think he even said that he buys the bouncy houses used when he can find it. So if you can find a really good deals on a bouncy house, like for $100 or something, that's what he does. There are 5 businesses that blow my mind in some ways, from the uber simple to the ones that I wouldn't have really thought about, that are making people money and don't cost a lot of money to get into. So lawn mowing, dog walking, new home buyer gift baskets, lawn signs, and inflatable bouncy houses. Who would have thought? Hey, if you are looking for a way to make some extra money, you are trying to start a business on your own, you are maybe going the way of gigs already, but you want something that you can own yourself, really do yourself. Own, market, sky's the limit. Maybe one of these will intrigue you. If you're doing them right now, I'd love to hear from you. If you are interested in any of these, I would love to hear from you. But man, if you have another interesting business idea that didn't cost you a lot of money and has blossomed into something amazing, something that has maybe changed your life, please let me know. I want to share it with the world and maybe help out someone else and make their lives a little bit different too. So that's it. I'll see you later.